Ready? My name is Jerry Lynch. I'm the Director of Communications for the Diocese of Salisbury, and I'm at this conference, which is where Church of England communications people are trained to be better at their jobs. And I'm going to interview Heather Scull, who works for US, which is a mission agency. So Heather might pass me the camera. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Now, Heather, you work for a mission agency. Now, that's a load of crap, isn't it? That's all about Westerners going off to developing countries, shoving our religion down people's throat, maybe bribing them with a bit of money and actually ruining their own countries and cultures, isn't it?
I think as a mission agency we became very sensitive about that a long time ago, and actually our way of working now is not to send people from here because one, that looks patronising, and two, there are people perfectly capable in Zimbabwe and Zambia and all the other countries we work in of doing the work. So instead we focus our efforts on working with the Anglican Church in those countries and saying, right, what is it you really need from us? How can we support you? How can we help you? And then we train people on the ground in those countries to do those things.
And I'm looking at your display, which is very pretty and hard-hitting, and there's a lady just over your right shoulder as I view it. Why is she on your poster?
Evelyn is a very brave woman who's been through a lot. She's experienced domestic violence in Zambia. The church in Zambia feels that that's the biggest problem in that country, and that's what they are addressing. And it's through a group called the Agape Women's Group that Evelyn has been helped to find an income so that she's no longer reliant on the man who has, frankly, abandoned her. And she is an amazing woman, a very brave woman who told us her story about how she has survived domestic violence through really the grace of God and the help of the Agape group, supported by the Anglican Church and supported by us.
So you say you're no longer about sending out missionaries, but does that mean there are absolutely no opportunities from people from this country to experience life with churches overseas?
Oh no, because we recognise that the worldwide church is the body of Christ and we need to experience that in all its fullness. We run something called Journey with Us that some people may remember used to be called EAPS, and what we do with that is give people the experience of working embedded with a church somewhere in the world. We arrange it, of course it has to be self-funded, although we do give a grant, but it gives people an opportunity to share their skills but also to receive back. I've lost count of the number of people of Journey with Us who've said, I'm going to go and change the world, and they come back and say, you know what, the world changed me.
And we're going to pass the camera back now. And I can confirm what Heather said. I was what was then an EAP for 6 months in 2011 with the Anglican Church in South Africa, based in central Cape Town. And I wouldn't say I was naive enough to think I was going to change the world. And I did bring important skills and I did some important work for the church there. But I would say the church in South Africa did a lot more to change me than I ever did to change it. It restored my faith at a time when it was severely strained. It gave me confidence in myself and what I had to offer the world at a time when that had been strained beyond breaking point. Cape Town was not a particularly cheap place to go. It was relatively expensive, but it was a genuinely life-changing, transformational experience. And US are a great agency. They're very supportive. They work in a very non-judgmental type of Christianity. I was actually sent to South Africa to do interfaith work, so I wasn't sent there to convert anybody, but I was sent to work with Muslims, Hindus, Jews, members of African traditional religions, tackling some of the appalling social problems there are in urban South Africa. So if you feel you're in a bit of a rut, whether you're 18 or 80, I would highly recommend talking to us about journeying with us somewhere in the wider world church. I'm Jerry Lynch. Thank you for watching.